Hello, this is another short video from the New Zealand Cave and Cast project, and we're just going to have a quick look at adding your own data to maps in Arc GIS Online. It turns out to be very simple if you've got them in Excel or from your GPS in a GPX format. So starting with Excel, we've got some simple data points. You do need to put latitude and longitude at the top, otherwise it gets confused, and they need to be in decimal format. These are in WGS 84, which many of the GPSs will output, or you can simply type them in yourself. Then you save them as a CSV file out of Excel. It's one of these comma delimited files. Once they're saved onto the desktop, getting them onto the map is incredibly easy. It's simply a matter of dragging them from the desktop and dropping them on. And as you can see, they go straight on. We can change the options and change the symbols to red, where they would be displayed, and the transparency and visibility range can all be changed as well. And click done, and there they are. They appear as a layer within it. At this point they aren't terribly helpful, but we'll come back to that a little bit later in the video. You can though save them as a layer if you want to for future reference, so you change the name and you can change the location. So quickly looking at GPX files, they're also very easy, slightly different area. If you've saved your GPX file to your desktop, again as simple as dragging it onto the map itself and letting it do its thing. In this case the map was already zoomed to the layer that appeared. Sometimes you will actually need to go to zoom to bring up the location. It doesn't auto center for some reason. The difference with GPX files is it seems they have very limited abilities to edit them. You certainly can't change the style and things like that, but you can save the layer again in that way and use it later. So if we go back to the original map and have a quick look at what we can do to make it a little bit more useful, we'll remove the existing layout, which again is very simple, and we'll go back to our data. So here's the original data with latitude and longitude, and in Excel I've simply added a code for the entrance and I've added some comments. Again, useful things when you're prospecting. You could either do it later or they could come out automatically from your GPS, and you've just reorganized the columns a little bit. So again, we've saved them as a CSV file, so each of the columns will have a comma in between and a row of headings, and then we can do something slightly more sophisticated with this. So if we drag that onto the map this time, it will ask us the same thing, and now we can select what we want to use as an attribute. In this case I'm actually going to use the comments, so I had no-go, I think shaft, resurgence, this type of thing. Here we go, and it's classified them according to those comments and changed the colors according to that as well. So again, a useful feature. You'd start to be able to see which were the promising ones, which ones the ones to be left. So that's kind of useful in itself, but you can add that to the labels as well. So if we click done on this and go back, we could actually add some labels to it. Go to create label, and we could use the code. We could use anything, but in this case of course the code makes more sense. The position around the text of the text around the point can be changed and things like that as well. So now we've got a useful map we've made ourselves with very little effort. Clicking on them, we can still edit them and change their properties, and change a no-go to a resurgence probably. In fact, I think we can click here to change that. Close, and its color changes as well. And we could assign specific colors if we wanted. Resurgence might make more sense if it was blue, for instance. But again, very simple way to add data to your maps in your own area. At this stage these layers are really restricted to the user who's just put them in. They certainly won't appear publicly. You'd have to do some assignment and things like that to get them onto the public maps. But again, very useful for prospecting. Hope this was useful. Thanks again from the New Zealand Cave and Cast project.